Hi everyone, I welcome you all at Apti Plus IAS platform. In these particular videos, we are going to analyze Hindu and Indian Express editorial articles. In these particular videos, we'll not just only discuss issue that is given in editorial, but rather we are going to discuss these particular aspects, these particular articles from background. We'll discuss the main concept as well as way forward. And also you'll find that the notes have also been has been arranged in the format of context, body and way forward. So now let's get started with the video, which is a dedicated part. Then moving on, water crisis in India. Water crisis in India. Now you see this particular thing, guys. This particular article, first of all, it is going to be important with respect to uh, social justice, because getting adequate water, it is a part of one's fundamental right to life. So giving water, good quality water, clean water, it is the component of social justice. Fine. Secondly, in disaster management also this particular dimension could be seen, because water crisis is going to be the biggest disaster that India might face in the coming times. So this particular article we are going to be used for GS paper number 2 as well as GS paper number 3, social justice and disaster issue. Now basically what has happened recently, a Moody's report was released saying that water shortages can affect the India's credit strength. Why? You see this thing. Water availability is directly linked with the productivity of people, directly linked with the health of the people, directly linked with the even the industrial activity in a country. If the water availability will go down, productivity will go down, people's health will go down, even the industrial activity which needs a lot of water, they will go down. Okay. Now, certain facts I just want to tell you guys here. You see this thing that when we talk about the per capita water availability, has declined progressively, not progressively, sorry, regressively since independence. So if we talk about the water availability in 1951, you just compare it. Now data is not to be remembered, but in 1951, 5177 cubic meters water was available per capita. And in 2020, only 1368 cubic meter water is per capita available. So can you see the drastic decline that has happened? Drastic decline that has happened from 5177 to 1368 cubic meter water availability today. And basically, the situation is even more alarming. I have more data and facts to support that. For example, according to Central Groundwater Board, 21 major cities might have no groundwater left by 2030. Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, they will run out of groundwater by 2030. Then 54% of people in India, they are facing high to extreme water stress. They don't have the adequate water availability. Unpredictable water availability is there. Unpredictable monsoon rains are there. Then Niti Aayog releases Composite Water Management Index. Composite Water Management Index. And under this Composite Water Management Index, Niti Aayog assesses that what is the water stress in the different parts of the country. Water stress in different parts of the country. And as per this Composite Water Management Index, Niti Aayog says that 600 million people, they are facing the extreme water stress in India. They are facing extreme water stress in India. Now, here I have provided the problems. I have provided the issues in water management, how these issues are leading to problem and what can be solutions. Now, this particular table will be your ready reckoner on this particular theme. If you need to prepare it, this table is going to be your ready reckoner. So first of all, over extraction of groundwater. What it leads to? It leads to the depletion of water table. Now, what can be solution? We need to promote sustainable groundwater management. Only those industries should be allowed to use groundwater where the nature of industry, first of all, we need to see that the industry is crucial, and secondly, industry doesn't has accessibility to any other water resource. Okay. Then focus on recharge techniques. We need to have the structure such as the johars, which help in the groundwater recharge. We need to ensure that there are the dedicated places which are not concretized, where the run of water will run and that particular water will seep away. Concretization of the surfaces needed to be reduced so that groundwater can be recharged. The next is inefficient water management is a big problem. Okay, municipal pipelines, they are leaking, because of that a lot of water is getting lost. Fine, in agriculture there's inefficient water usage that is there. So in agriculture, modern irrigation techniques, drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, fine, humidity sensors, soil humidity sensors are needed to be deployed so that the better water usages in agriculture sector can be done. Next is water pollution is a very big problem. Industrial discharge, sewage directly are being released in the rivers. By that, the quality of water, dissolved oxygen in the river water, etc. has declined. So what needs to be done? Strict pollution control regulations need to be enforced. The point pollution points needed to be curbed. Water before releasing in the nearby water body needs to be purified, needs to be treated. Investment need to be done in the sewage water management. Investment needs to be done in the sewage management. Then climate change is leading to the reduced water availability. In fact, recently there was a WISE report, WISE, WISE report that was released for the Hindu Kush Himalaya region. It was said that the glaciers volume in the Hindu Kush Himalayas is going down. So climate change, it is disturbing the precipitation, rainfall patterns, glaciers. So therefore, we need to do climate resilient water management practice. We need to learn those particular practices, that how even by the reduced water resources one can survive, one can live. Then deforestation and urbanization. So basically, because of the deforestation, water cycle gets disrupted, and because of urbanization, what is happening? Groundwater recharge is getting impacted, because of urbanization a lot of concretization will happen, and because of that concretization groundwater recharge will get impacted. So what we need to do? We need to promote afforestation, sustainable urban planning. The next issue that we have is that inadequate infrastructure. Okay, insufficient storage of water, insufficient treatment of water. So again, invest in water infrastructure, give the more funding to urban bodies. Okay, now guys, here just what you can do, you can take down these particular notes. Just one additional static component I have provided: traditional water conservation methods. For example, johars are the small earthen bodies for rainwater storage, as well as they act as check dams. So johars, baulis, akhad pine system, kund, jabu system. Fine, these are the indigenous technologies for water management, not the part of that article that I am discussing, but one additional content I have given you here. Then guys, further you see this particular thing, that what can be the solutions? What can be the solutions? Okay, administrative solution and management solutions that we have. Yes, solutions, administrative solution and management solutions. Number one, we need to focus on integrated water resource management. Integrated water resource management. Now you see this particular thing: water resources, groundwater, water in river, fine, water in lake. They are not to be treated as a separate component. Groundwater, land-based water, they need to be treated as a common component. Okay, so management of water needs to be done. Then water resources, land resources, and other economic resources also needs to be accounted when the resource management is being done. The next thing is decentralized water governance. The local communities, panchayats, fine, civil societies need to be given bigger say that how water conservation is to be done, because they have age-old strategies to deal with the water scarcity. Then we need to strengthen the legal frameworks. Okay, so basically we need to strictly enforce the laws to reduce pollution. If there is a water wastage being taken up by commercial or residential industries, there needs to be the adequate fines. So legal laws should be used to reduce the pollution, to reduce the over extraction of water, encroachment which are happening on the wetlands, etc. Then public private partnerships are needed to be explored to develop the water infrastructure, We discussed a few minutes back that how the adequate sewage infrastructure is not there in a lot of cities. So PPP model can be used, and data driven decision. So basically remote sensing, Internet of Things should be used for managing the water resources in real time. Managing water resources in real time. That is all guys about it. Now here guys, what I have done, I have given you a list also. Here I have given you a list also of the different government initiatives on the water management. Let's see them briefly. We have Jal Jeevan Mission. Now Jal Jeevan Mission aims to provide the functional household tap connection to every household by 2024. Every household should have a tap connection, and minimum they should get 55 liter per capita water. Then next is Atal Bhujal Yojana. Atal Bhujal Yojana. Now Bhujal means groundwater. So Atal Bhujal Yojana was launched in 2020 for sustainable and effective management of the groundwater in the water stressed areas. So those areas where water table has declined. So effective water management will be focused under the Atal Bhujal Yojana. Then there is Namami Gange program launched in 2014 to improve the quality of water in the river Ganga. National Mission for Clean Ganga is operating it. Then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. It works on the philosophy of per crop more drop. Per crop more drop. Now Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, what it aims? Fine. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, it was launched in 2015 to develop irrigation, to develop micro irrigation, micro irrigation, so that water availability, water usages in the agriculture can be improved. Then next is National Water Mission. The National Water Mission was launched as a part of National Action Plan on Climate Change, where there were the 8 missions that were launched. The National Water Mission focuses on the effective conservation of water. Then there is a Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Now Jal Shakti Abhiyan was launched way back in 2019 to make water conservation a Jan Andolan. Include people so that the people can move forward. People can move forward for the water saving. Then MG Narega. Now MG Narega, here basically for the revival of water bodies, for the revival of the ponds, etc. Initiatives are taken. Rainwater harvesting initiatives are taken. National Hydrology Project is there, which aims to improve the quality and accessibility of water resources. And then there is the Catch the Rain campaign for conserving the rainwater. So launched under whom? Jal Shakti Abhiyan. So it focuses on the rainwater harvesting, rainwater conservation. Now point is that only one line you need to know about it. Anyhow, let's move on and let's see how the things go on. Climate change and agriculture, then this particular article I am going to take for GS paper number 3, climate change and agriculture, because both of these two themes are important in the GS paper number 3. Now, basically guys, if you see what has happened, climate change, so it is said that the climate change, it is impacting the small farmers, and it impacts small farmers the most. It impacts small farmers the most. So if you see what has happened, extreme weather events have increased, flood, cyclones, fine, monsoon patterns are changing, heat waves are going at high intensity. All these things have a negative impact on agriculture. If water availability will go down, what will happen? It will impact agriculture. If heat waves are there, they'll destroy the agriculture crops. Drought, flood, again impact on the agriculture crops. So climate change has a very big and a negative impact on climate change. So let's discuss that and let's see that how the different aspects of temperature and climate, they have an impact on agriculture. Moving on. First is the temperature change. So you see that temperature change can lead to high heat stress in crops. It lead to high heat stress in livestock. It can affect the harvest. It can affect the maturing of the crops. It can affect the maturing of the crops. It can alter the growing seasons. Growing seasons either can extend or growing seasons can reduce. Okay. So this is a problem. Temperature, it creates the stress on plant varieties, it creates a stress on the livestock. What can be solution? Solution is to develop the heat tolerant crop varieties through genetic engineering, through developing the better quality seeds, or by using the native varieties of plants, native varieties of crops. What we need to do? We need to develop specific by using the native varieties. Need to develop a particular type of varieties. Then erratic rainfall patterns, changing monsoon patterns. What we need to do? We need to invest in the rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting, so that the rainwater can be used in the lean period. Also, secondly, what we need to do? We also need to enhance the water efficient irrigation system. Fine. Earlier, I discussed it with you that sprinkler and drip irrigation systems are the ones which are most effective in terms of the water, in terms of the saving of the water. So we need to invest in such kind of systems. Then next, a minute. Okay. Then next is, there are extreme weather events, flood, drought, cyclones. What we need to do? We need to invest in resilient infrastructure, as well as we need to develop the early warning systems. Then soil degradation is going on. Because of the usage of a lot of chemicals, and that soil degradation, it leads to the reduced soil fertility. Soil degradation also leads to high land salinization. Soil degradation also leads to the desertification, all these problems. What we need to do? We need to follow agroforestry. Along with the agriculture, certain trees should be planted. We should go for organic fertilizers, better water management practices, so that the water salinization, land salinization doesn't happen. Why salinization becomes a big problem? Salinization becomes a problem because of the fact that often lot of excess water is used in irrigation. So how to do that? We need to use the Internet of Things. We need to use the sensors which can sense the water. We need to use sensor which can sense the humidity levels in the soil, and on the basis, if a humidity level goes beyond a particular level, then only the sprinklers and the drip irrigation should not get activated. So we need to use a technology so that excess water is not given. We need to use organic fertilizers, and agroforestry is also to be used. Then pests and disease. Now warmer temperatures, as we have warm temperatures, they help in the infestation of the pest and disease. So therefore, integrated pest management, biological controls, biological pesticides are to be used, because the chemical pesticides might have a negative impact on human health. Then fine, water scarcity point already we have discussed. Livestock and fisheries. So high heat stress, fine, it is also impacting the quality of water. By that heat stress, it affects the livestock, as well as as water temperature increases, pH level affects the fish population. So what we need to do? Again, heat tolerant livestock breeds, sustainable aquaculture, pond aquaculture in controlled circumstances need to be increased. Then finally, economic and social impacts are there. Fine, agriculture, crop failures happened because of the disasters and all such kind of things. So in this capacity, what is to be done? We need to provide comprehensive crop insurance. We already have Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, in which at the rate of 1.5%, 2% and 5% insurance is provided to the farmer. This is something that is to be done. Now, when we talk about the climate and how it is impacting the agriculture, one type of farmers are the most impacted one. Which type of farmers are the most impacted one? Marginal farmers. And here we have the report by the Forum of Enterprises for Equitable Development. So report by the Forum of Enterprises for Equitable Development, what it provides? Marginal farmers are the most impacted by the climate change, and 60% of the marginal farmers, they have suffered crop losses due to extreme weather. ठीक है, even the productivity of the soil has come down. Fine, wheat production has fallen for the third consecutive year. 50% the paddy cultivation, wheat crop cultivation is going down. Okay. Now, beyond this, I'll not advise you too much to go in the numbers, but only the reference of report is very much important for you. Which report? Which report? Report by the FEED, Forum for Enterprises for Equitable Development. What it says that majority of the farmers who are getting suffered by climate change are the marginal farmers. Now, here we have some of the initiatives that have been undertaken by the government of India. Now, what are the initiatives that have been taken by government? Number one, we have here is PM Kisan. PM Kisan. Now, PM Kisan provides 6,000 rupees of income support to the farmers, so that the farmer can use this particular income to buy high quality inputs such as a seed, fertilizer, etc. So, PM Kisan 6,000 rupees is provided. Then Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. It provides a comprehensive crop insurance, so that the farmers who have faced losses because of the disasters, etc., they can cover those losses. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana is there, which aims to provide the irrigation facilities to the farmers, so water efficient irrigation. Then soil health card scheme is there, under which the farmer can understand the soil nutrient status, and on the basis of understanding the soil nutrient status, they are also recommended what is the appropriate dosages of the nutrients. Then next there is ENAM. There is ENAM, that is Electric National Agriculture Market. Now this is an online trading platform where farmers can sell their produce wherever they are getting the good price. Then next is Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. So what is agriculture infrastructure? It provides the long-term debt financing for the post-harvest infrastructure. Now you see, once a farmer has harvested the wheat, now farmer want to sell that particular wheat and will go to the market, but all the farmers are coming to market at the same time. Because of that, what will happen? You will not get a better price, because when supply is so much and demand is static, price will crash. So basically, what we need to do, we need to develop the post-harvest infrastructure. Once the farmer has harvested the crop, there should be the facilities, there should be the place where he can store his crop. That is something that's needed. So Agriculture Infrastructure Fund provides funding for developing the warehouses, storage facilities, post-harvest infrastructure. The next we have is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Now, what Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana? It promotes the organic agriculture, growing of agriculture without the application of chemical fertilizers, etc. Then National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is there, which aims to enhance the agricultural productivity in rain-fed areas. Now, what are the rain-fed areas? Rain-fed areas are the ones which don't have the irrigation. They depend on the rain for their water needs. Okay, so this is guys all about it. I hope that you have understood it. Now moving on, and the next article that we have here is about the Lithium India's EV sector and challenges. Lithium India's EV sector and challenges. Lithium India's EV sector and challenges. Now you see this particular thing, guys. What is happening? There is the sign of progress of lithium in Chhattisgarh. Earlier, good news came with respect to the lithium from Jammu and Kashmir, where the reserves of lithium were found in the Riyasi region of Jammu and Kashmir. Riyasi region of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, for GS3, EV sector, issues related to Indian economy. This article is going to be an important one. Now, first of all, when we talk about lithium is a silvery white kind of a material which is used for lithium ion batteries. Now, lithium ion batteries, they are used because of their high energy density. They can store high energy, they have long life, okay, and they can be recharged a lot of times. So therefore, lithium ion batteries today are being used in mobile phones, in your computers, in the cars also. Now, when we talk about the EVs, electric vehicles, fine, more than 50% of the cost of an EV is because of its battery component. And for that battery, we need the lithium. So if we want to become EV hub, we want to have these lithium ion batteries, we need to have lithium. Now, when we talk about the lithium, majority of the reserves of lithium are found in the lithium triangle. So this lithium triangle, it is situated in South America, and this lithium triangle, this is the lithium triangle. It includes Chile, Bolivia and Argentina. Chile, Bolivia and Argentina. Now, India, in order to promote the EV, has come out with multiple schemes, and the majority of the most important one is the FAME scheme. FAME scheme. Now, FAME scheme phase 1 was launched in 2015 and phase 2 was launched in 2019. Now, under the FAME scheme, India will focus on research and development in the EV vehicles, will focus on developing the charging infrastructure, will focus on absorption of the EV vehicles in public transportation. So, buses, 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, 2-wheelers will be promoted. There is also National Electric Mobility Mission Plan that is there, which aims that 6 to 7 hybrid and electric vehicles should be there on by 2020. But what is the problem? Problem is not the EV targets. Problem is the availability of lithium. So challenges that we find here in the lithium, number one challenge is the availability of lithium as a resource. But beyond the availability of lithium as a resource, there are many other challenges also that we have. Number one is limited domestic reserves. I already told you. Fine. Majority reserves are in Australia. Now see, Australia, Chile, Argentina, they are the big producers. Therefore, now see, one problem is connected with the other problem. Because of the limited domestic resource, there is a lot of import dependence. There's a lot of import dependence on the lithium. And because of that, India is vulnerable to market fluctuation, disruptions that happen. The next is environmental concern. Now, we are saying that EVs are clean. And we are saying that choosing EV is an environmentally conscious, environmentally sensitive choice. But with respect to EVs also, there are multiple challenges. And the biggest challenge that we have is with respect to EVs, extraction of lithium is a polluting activity. Processing of lithium is again leads to a lot of carbon emission. And finally, electricity that will be used to charge these lithium ion batteries, it might also have its own carbon footprint. So effectively, carbon footprint in this lithium might be more. So lithium mining, extraction, water depletion are the challenges. High production cost. So lithium extraction is high cost activity. In fact, I told you that 50% of the cost of a EV vehicle, it is because of the battery that it has installed in it. So high production and extraction cost we have. Then in India, even we are getting some of the lithium reserves, let's say in Chhattisgarh, in Riyasi, Jammu and Kashmir, but we don't have a technology, adequate infrastructure for lithium mining and processing. Expertise and technology is not there. So these are the challenges. That India is facing with respect to the lithium. Okay. Then there are some other challenges also that we have here. Fine. Lack of regulation and policy. Now you see this particular thing. Okay, that we don't have clear-cut policies with respect to encouraging the investment in lithium or the lithium mining in India. So we need to have a very clear policies. We need to invite the foreign players who have expertise. Then global competition with respect to the lithium is going on. So lithium availability for India. See, lithium resource around the world is very much less, and every country is competing for that. So India might not get its fair resources of lithium. Then recycling and waste management is a very big. So the batteries, once they have been used, when they come to the end of their life, how to recycle, how to reprocess them. And then geopolitical risk, already I have discussed to you that we are always dependent on some other country. Now, what are the steps that have been taken by the Indian government in direction of lithium? Number one, we have signed international partnerships with multiple countries to secure our lithium supplies. Now, we have signed partnership with Bolivia, Argentina, Chile, so that they can provide us sustainable supply of lithium. Secondly, domestic exploration also we are working on. I told you in Riyasi and Chhattisgarh, we are finding some reserves, and also what India is focusing upon, India is focusing on the collaborations. We are providing the blocks available to the private sector so that they can identify the lithium reserves in India. Then we are pushing the battery manufacturing in India. We are pushing the battery manufacturing in India with the domestic manufacturers, so that once we got the lithium, we need not to import the battery components. Then research and development is being supported under the FAME scheme. Research and development is being, now there can also be the solid state batteries that can be used. Now solid state batteries are even more durable, So the research is going on, and then finally government has given the policy support, incentives for the adoption of EV. Under FAME scheme, already we have seen that under the FAME scheme for the adoption of EV, there is the support that is being given. Okay, and for the recycling, government is coming out with the policy measures for effective recycling also. So these are all the initiatives that India has taken up in this particular capacity. Fine. So guys, I hope that you have you have been able to understand all these particular related issues that we have. Now moving on, and we have one more article here, that is justice issues and challenges in India. Justice issues and challenges in India. GS paper number 2, judiciary related issues. GS paper number 2, judiciary related issues. Now, recently there was one article that came that Supreme Court is going to use the AI, artificial intelligence, to categorize the cases in Supreme Court. Artificial intelligence. Now, you see this particular thing, guys, that at multiple places, see this particular thing, that at multiple places we find that the AI technology etc. can be utilized, and utilization of technology can ease the justice availability. It can improve the justice availability. Okay, so in this particular article, we are going to see an overview about the problems associated with judiciary and the possible solutions that can be there. So I am sure that by covering this particular article, your theme on the judiciary will get absolutely clear. So let's discuss. Now, first of all, you see, when we talk about the judiciary, there is a huge backlog of cases in the Indian courts. Around 3.5 crore cases are pending. Around 3.5 crore cases are pending in judiciary. Because of this, there are many problems that happen. Justice gets delayed. Then there is a problem of access to justice also. You see this particular thing, that many people are not able to access justice. Many challenges are there. Many number of times they are not able to afford a lawyer. Judicial services sometimes are very much expensive for some people. Sometimes, for example, let's take example of Supreme Court. Supreme Court is in Delhi. It becomes very difficult for the people from South India, from Northeast India, for West India, that they can come to Supreme Court for every hearing. So disparities in the accessing of legal services in rural people, marginalized communities, sometimes because of economic constraints, sometimes because of the lack of awareness, sometimes because of the non-availability of judicial infrastructure in the nearby area, they face problem. Now, government is moving towards the judicial reforms, digitization of court processes, alternative dispute resolution, lok adalats, etc. we have come out with, so that petty offenses, for example, can be taken up by the lok adalats. Fast track courts we are developing, but actually they have not helped that much. Fine. Actually, it has not helped that much. Now, here just if I show you the pendency of cases, first of all. Now, first of all, if we talk about the pendency of cases, you see this particular thing that that half of all the cases in High Court are pending for 3 years. Half of all the cases in High Court are pending for 3 years. 87% cases are pending in district courts. Now, Often it is said that high case pendency is because of the judicial activism. Judiciary invites a lot of cases to itself, but 87% cases are pending in the district courts. Poorly drafted orders are leading to the contested tax revenue. Now you see this thing. There are many tax matters that reach to the judiciary. In these particular matters, clear rulings are not there, or on the tax matters in general, clear rulings are not there. Because of that, tax litigations are there. Fine, a lot of government revenue is struck in the litigations, which is equivalent to 4.7% of GDP. 7.8 lakh crore rupees of revenue government is not able to get because people have petitioned on that in the different courts. Matter are stuck in the court. Government litigation relating to tax success rate is 30%. Where there is a tax dispute going on between government or some corporate or government or some individual, government success rate is just 30% in such kind of litigations. Okay. Average disposal of case by each judge is 746. These cases are being disposed by every judge. Fine. So therefore, guys, what are the way out in these particular kind of matters? What are the way out in this particular matter? Number one, in order to enhance access to justice, I told you that many number of times the justice was not accessible. What needs to be done? Technologies are to be used. Online dispute resolution. Traveling, particularly when you are traveling for the Supreme Court litigation, if it is, now see, Supreme Court is in Delhi. People from South India, West, East, Northeast might find it very difficult, might be very expensive for them to travel. So online dispute resolution is there so that the parties need not to travel, and it will lead to a lot of cost saving for them. For efficiency and cost saving, automation in the court processes need to be done. AI, machine learning should be used for the basic trivial tasks which are being performed by the judicial officers. For example, for document review, case management, legal research, AI can be used. A lot of human time, man hours it can save. Then predictive analytics for decision making. Now, what do we mean by this predictive analysis for decision making? So, as the case is moving, AI can analyze the final outcome of a case, and AI can tell that outcome to all the parties. So parties can now, you see, let's say a particular case is like this, that the case has all the evidence against a party, but still the parties are dragging that particular case. 99% it is sealed that what outcome will be there. So rather than dragging that particular case, there can be some swift settlement that can be done by the parties if it is not that a heinous crime. So predictive analytics can be used. It can lead to more informed decisions. Virtual reality should be used in courtrooms for examining the evidences, etc. So for better examining the evidences, rather than showing them the 2D image, virtual reality can be used. Legal education training can be improved. Legal education and training can be, better training can be given for the future, to the future legal practitioners, legal professionals. AI is to be integrated, machine to machine communication is to be, machine learning is to be integrated in judicial processes, and at the same time, legal professionals, legal practitioners need to be given the knowledge and awareness with respect to these particular technologies. Then there are some other generic solutions that are also there, which can be used. We need to fast track the court processes. We need to have the fast track courts. Sorry. My apologies. So fast track courts we are having. Now fast track courts, for example, fast track courts for rape matters, fast track court for dealing with the matters related to the scheduled caste people. These are an ad hoc solution. Rather we fast tracking a particular category of cases, we need to fast track the entire judicial process. 30% life of a case is spent in simple things such as serving of a notice. A notice will be served, it will take some time. A party will not come, time is wasted. Then again notice will be served, party will not come, time is being wasted. So 30% time in the life of a case is wasted because of the serving of a notice. We need to find some digital processes for that. We need the procedural changes. We need to fix timelines for every process. Fine. If those timelines are not adhered, the case will be decided. Then AI, blockchain can be used for better monitoring of the cases. Fine. We should have a facility to allow registration of petitions online. Okay. As far as possible, e-court mission that was brought, which aimed to bring the paperless court, it needs to be implemented. Wherever possible, digital documents, digital copies are to be uploaded because it is environmentally more friendly. Also, it leads to the better management of the records and documentation in courts. So these are all the way forwards that are to be done in this particular direction. Fine. So guys, I hope that you have understood it. And with this, we come to an end to this particular session. Guys, I expect that you have liked this particular video. Thank you so much.